So um, now let's talk about how we get this implemented. And I'm coming to the end. So if you've got your questions, go ahead and start preparing those. I should be wrapping this up in just a little bit. So charting a path forward means that things may have to change. Is your business ready to change? And as I said before, when you are not open to just learning from failure, taking that lesson in and discarding the experience and the pain and moving forward with this new thing, you can take business can change can be very hard for businesses and for entrepreneurs. Recently, over the last couple of years, I had to put a brand to rest. After a trademark fight, I had to abandon ship and it hurt. I mourned that thing for a whole year because it was my baby. And I believed that this was what was given to me and it was supposed to thrive. Nope, it was supposed to get me off my feet and into a season. And then it stopped and it was gone and I had to shift and I wasn't ready. And the pain of having to change was very, very great. I survived it, but you do have to understand it's not always easy to change. Okay. And it's because you have to discard what you already know for something that you don't know, right? For the unknown. What is my next step? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? How is this going to work? I know this other thing kind of worked, but this new thing, I don't know if it's going to work or not. How will I survive, or how will my business be sustained? Our knee-jerk reaction is to not change and to hold on to what we already know because we're comfortable in the truth, even if it's toxic. It's what we know, right? You hold on to the enemy, you hold on to the stuff, the facts, the things but you have to be committed to ongoing learning, changing, and development. Otherwise, your knee-jerk reaction is going to be to refuse everything. So being open to change means I acknowledge that I don't know what I don't know, and I'm willing to learn and bring it in. I'm willing to integrate it into what I'm becoming, because my business is becoming, I am becoming. And if my business can't change, because my business is an extension of me, my business can't change and it can't be agile if I'm not. So you have to acknowledge that you don't know what you don't know, and you have to be willing to incorporate as you learn. So the requirements for changing is to discard old habits and adopt new ones. So you've got to unfreeze, learn, and refreeze. That's the technical, if you're ever in organizational change talks, these are words you'll hear, right? You've got to discard what you already know, learn something new, and then integrate it to the extent that it is now your new norm. It's not the new thing anymore. Now it's actually what you do. That takes time and effort. So these are the steps to change. You ask, what does this mean for me? How does this require me to change? Then you start gathering information. You start learning, figuring out whether you're willing to make that change and how. Start embarking on the steps to incorporate that change in your life. Okay, so it's not easy, but it is required if you're going to survive during seasons of change. So I know I zoomed through that last part, but it's really important when it comes to organizational change, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to having to pivot and you realize I've got to do something new that I've not done before. Change is going to be involved, because you may implement this process and you may come to your staff and say, we're going to approach our business in a whole new way. Or even your mindset may have to change, that it can't just be about the daily grind. It now has to be about the goals that I'm reaching, not just the monetary goals, but where do I want to be in the world? What do I want to achieve with my business? How can I recover when things have taken a downturn? All of those things are incorporated into strategy setting, goal setting, and then implementing those changes.